Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZZ.
We did have our fantasy football draft over the weekend, and if you were with us about an hour and a half ago, we were talking about the draft party. I wasn't able to attend this year. Jeff was there. One of our friends that throws the party is a chef. He caters. He does a signature cocktail. It's really quite the affair. But one of the guys in the fantasy league is a vegan and decided to bring some vegan deviled eggs. If you missed that, it'll be in the podcast, kzoz.com. But our buddy who joined the league for the first time this year,
we had an opening, and he's been asking to be a part of the league for a long time. And it was like, yeah, as soon as we get an opening, we'll get
you in. Now, he wasn't at the draft party.
There was a guy who had his fifth baby, and he's like, that's it, I'm out. I can't do fantasy football this year. I understand totally.
Kevin.
So
Kevin's in.
That opened up a spot for Long Boy Kevin. Now, what happened was at the draft party, there was a glitch in Greg's login. I think a Safari glitch.
Yeah, I had a Safari glitch as well, but I also had Chrome on my computer.
Yeah.
And I think people that use Safari know sometimes it doesn't work. The browser doesn't work on certain applications.
Chrome's pretty universal.
So anyways, he had to auto-pick his draft. He wasn't actually able to do it. The computer was picking for him.
So I felt like Nancy Pelosi as he was walking around with plates of food, giving us food while we're sitting there picking, and he's not drafting. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I get to draft my team. You don't get to draft your team. Give me another tri-tip slider. Could you get me some flatbread while you're at it? I felt really bad for Greg. So we came up with a solution at the end of the draft, because he's like, dude, there's no way in the world that, I was on auto draft, and I would have, taken the team that I took. And I was like, well, I feel bad for that. You want to try to make your way through the free agency, which is, the waiver wire, as it's called in fantasy football, and try to build your team that way as the season moves on. He's like, yeah, that's fine. But then some people caught wind of that, and they thought, oh, well, that's an unfair advantage.
Let me explain it. What Jeff's talking about here is when we pick up people off the waivers, everybody gets $200. Once that $200 is gone, you can't use that to your advantage to get players you want. So he was going to double Greg's to $400, and then we had some resistance. So we're like, all right, we could just redraft. We've got time to do it. So we put a poll up on our page, and Lawn Boy Kevin this morning writes in.
Lawn Boy Kevin.
And he says, what did you say, Kevin? You want to change your vote now?
No, I clicked on the wrong one. I wanted to just say just leave it how he did it. But I put redraft, but I don't think I can handle redraft, and that was painful.
Well,
pardon my language.
It's okay.
I hope you got the beep on that.
I did.
Okay.
So here's the thing: is the reason why it was painful is because we were sitting there trying to figure out Greg's problems through the first 4 rounds.
It was just like the first 3 rounds. If you don't have an idea of who you're going to pick that early, it's like, whoa.
No, everybody had an idea. You understand? We were trying to get Greg access.
We're trying to stall for Greg, yeah.
We were trying to stall because we were trying to log him in. So he could have a fair draft because he was the host of the party. I mean, God, if anybody, you don't want to screw over the host of the party.
I agree.
I'm curious as to what time did you cast your vote?
I think I did it this morning, like first thing in the morning when I was getting ready to go to work. So it was just kind of like a rush.
Did you watch last night's preseason game at all?
No.
I've
been busy.
You didn't get any word of any injuries that took place last night or anything like that, because I'm wondering why you want to change your vote so bad.
Jeff's calling you out. Jeff's calling you out right now. Do you know why he's calling you out?
No, who got hurt?
Travis Etienne's likely out for a long period of time, but then it could be for the season. He got a Lisfranc injury last night.
Oh.
And you have James Robinson, who is his, I guess, 1B.
Oh, okay.
Travis Etienne was 1A. James Robinson was 1B. But when 1A goes away, 1B assumes the role of number 1. So now you have an advantage, yet you had already cast your vote. I was wondering if you had heard some information, and that's why you want to change your vote. Because the last thing I want you doing is to vote for the recall election, because you would vote the opposite way. You would get confused by the ballot.
Lawn Boy Kevin.
This is what
I'm good. I'm good with whatever everybody else wants to do, but
well, you can't change your vote. Well, you see, the whole reason why we set up the poll the way we did is because it would be anonymous.
oh
I can't go in and say, okay, look, let me see who voted what, and then change a vote around that way. That would make me like Georgia.
He's saying you're a liar and you're deceitful, Kevin.
Lon boy Kevin.
No, I'm not. That's fine. If he wants to feel that way, that's fine. But I didn't see anything.
I
so.
mean, in
And I
2021, the last thing you want to be accused of is fixing an election.
So here's the deal. I had a bunch of stuff to do. Anyways, I had an irrigation leak that I had to fix this weekend.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got my starting lineup done, I put it on auto draft and just left.
Okay. All right, so there you go, Jeff.
So I have no idea. I haven't even really looked at anything.
That's how fantasy football players talk. Oh, it means nothing to me. I want to change my vote after I hear what happens in the Monday night game.
I didn't even see any of it, buddy. But that's fine. I'll leave it. That's fine.
Well, you have to. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Once a vote's been cast, it's been cast.
Have you paid?
But
I
I applaud the effort to try to keep your lineup because your lineup got actually potentially overnight got way better than it was.
Have you paid yet? Have you paid your dues?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you can still just walk away.
I'm not going to walk.
Lon boy Kevin.
Drafting laugh.
Okay.
Well, that's part of entering the league. You got to draft last.
Yeah, that's you got to go to the bottom.
Hey, you got two people on your roster before I did, buddy.
All right, Kevin. Have a good day. Good luck with your leak. All right. I believe him. I don't think he. I don't. Why are you rolling your eyes?
I don't know. I don't know. That's some. Like, because this is how. Okay, this is how the poll question reads. Due to Greg's draft issues, which is more fair? Give him $400 in fab or redraft online. Those are your two options, okay? How do you accidentally pick the option that you don't like? That's yes and no. That's looking at something and saying yes and no. You know, there's nothing confusing in the wording of that. From time to time, you will accuse me of framing a poll question on KZOZ.com. And I will say, yes, for entertainment purposes, I frame a poll question. But when it comes to fantasy football, I take that crap serious, man.
No framing there. Oh, all right. So where are we sit right now?
I just love how the one guy and the one injury that takes place that is substantial in preseason, the day afterward, he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I think I voted wrong in that poll.
Lon boy Kevin.
And he benefits from it. Come on.
Are we leaning towards a redraft or?
Well, as of right now, there's been 8 people voting. We can only change it if all 14 people vote, which means 6 people still have to vote. But as of right now, there will be a redraft because 63% of the people are saying yes, that they want to redraft, whereas 38% of people are saying they want to give them the $400
and keep the team they've drafted. Okay.
So,
well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
People might be targeting James Robinson, Kevin.
Baby girl, they look good. They look good.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.